My beloved child, come closer and listen with a quiet heart. This is not a loud moment. This is not a rushed message. This is a sacred pause, sent because your spirit have been sensing something shifting, even though nothing on the surface looks different. What you are walking through right now is not confusion. It is not delay. It is a season of quiet change, and I, Archangel Michael, stand beside you to reassure you. There are changes happening that do not announce themselves with noise. They arrive gently. They rearrange things silently. And because they are subtle, the human mind often questions them. You may have wondered, why does everything feel still, yet different? That question itself is proof that your awareness is awakening. Hear this clearly. Stillness does not mean stagnation. Silence does not mean absence. Heaven often works most powerfully when the world grows quiet. Right now, God is adjusting your understanding, not your surroundings. He's refining your perception before He reveals new direction. If He were to move everything at once, you would rely on sight. But in this season, He is training you to rely on discernment. You are not falling behind. You are being aligned. There are doors that are closing without drama. There are relationships that are slowly losing their grip, not because of conflict, but because they no longer match who you are becoming. This can feel strange. It can feel like emotional distance or a loss of excitement. But this is not loss. It is release. I say this to calm your heart. You are not missing anything meant for you. Some blessings arrive quietly because they require reflection before reaction. If you rush this season, you will misunderstand it. That is why this message comes with a gentle instruction. Open now and reflect without rushing. Your soul already knows what your mind is still trying to understand. You may have noticed that your patience hath been tested recently. Not through chaos, but through waiting. Small delays, unanswered questions, pauses that seem longer than necessary. This is not punishment. This is preparation. God is strengthening your inner stability so that when momentum returns, you are not shaken by it. There is a temptation in quiet seasons to fill the silence with worry, to assume that because nothing dramatic is happening, nothing important is happening. That assumption is false. Some of the greatest transformations happen underground, where no one applauds and no one sees. Just as roots grow in darkness, your spiritual foundation is expanding in ways you cannot yet measure. I stand guard over you during this transition. You are protected while things shift. You are covered while old patterns dissolve. You are guided even when the path feels indistinct. Do not force clarity. Clarity will come naturally when alignment is complete. You are learning how to listen without demanding answers. You are learning how to trust without visible proof. These lessons cannot be taught in loud seasons. They are learned only in stillness. And because you are willing, because you have not turned away, understanding will be given to you gently, not abruptly. Let me reassure you of this truth. Nothing about your life is on hold. Heaven is not waiting on you to do something right. Heaven is inviting you to rest long enough to receive. There is wisdom being downloaded into your spirit right now. You may notice it as sudden insights, deeper compassion, or a new sensitivity to what no longer feels right. Do not dismiss these signals. They are confirmations. What you hear here today is not meant to rush you into action. It is meant to shift how you interpret your present moment. Your quiet is not empty. Your waiting is not wasted. Your stillness is not weakness. This is a recalibration. Soon, you will look back and realize that this was the moment everything subtly changed. Not because something dramatic happened, but because you changed. Hold that awareness gently. Let it settle. Do not hurry your next step. I am with you. I am watching over this transition. And nothing unfolding now is accidental. Stay present. Stay open. The reassurance you seek is already surrounding you. Beloved soul, as this message continues to unfold, I want you to breathe deeply and release the pressure you have placed on yourself to figure everything out. The reason this season feels unfamiliar is because you are being invited into a new rhythm, one that is not driven by urgency, but by awareness. Many around you are rushing, reacting, forcing outcomes. You, however, are being gently pulled into discernment. That alone sets you apart. There is a divine reason why certain answers have not arrived yet. Not because you are unworthy of them, but because receiving them too early would cause you to act from old patterns. God is not withholding. He is protecting the process. When clarity comes, it will not shock you. It will feel like recognition, as if your spirit has been expecting it all along. You may notice that your desires are changing. Things you once chased no longer excite you. Conversations that once energized you now feel shallow. This is not boredom. It is elevation. When your inner frequency shifts, your tolerance for misalignment decreases. That can feel lonely at first. But hear this clearly. You are not being isolated. You are being refined. In quiet seasons, the enemy often whispers doubt, suggesting that nothing is happening or that you are falling behind others. You not accept that lie. Comparison has no authority in a season of preparation. You are not meant to move at another person's pace because you are not headed toward their destination. I, Archangel Michael, remind you that heaven measures progress differently than the world does. While others count speed, heaven counts depth. While others chase visibility, heaven builds stability. And right now, stability is being formed within you. You may feel an urge to pull back from unnecessary noise, social media, constant opinions, endless advice. This is wisdom rising. Your spirit is learning how to hear God without interference. Protect that. Guard your peace without guilt. Silence is not avoidance. It is discernment. There is also healing happening beneath the surface. Old disappointments you thought were resolved are being gently revisited, not to reopen wounds, but to finally release their emotional charge. You are being freed from reactions that once controlled you. This is why certain memories resurface unexpectedly. Let them pass through without judgment. They are losing their power. Trust that nothing surfacing now is meant to overwhelm you. It is coming up because you are strong enough to let it go. As you listen to this message, understand that it did not find you by accident. If these words resonate, it is because your spirit is already responding. And if you feel a sense of calm mixed with curiosity, that is confirmation that alignment is taking place. This is a good moment to pause and engage with this space. If this message is speaking to you, let it be known. Like this video, share it with someone who may be navigating a similar quiet season, and leave a comment to anchor this moment. When you interact, you are not just supporting a channel, you are affirming that you are present and receptive. And if you have not yet subscribed, do so now, so these messages continue to reach you when your spirit needs them most. There is more unfolding, and you will want to stay connected as this understanding deepens. Do not underestimate the power of gentle obedience. Even listening without rushing is an act of faith. You are learning how to wait without anxiety, how to trust without proof, how to remain open without forcing outcomes. These are advanced spiritual muscles, and they are being strengthened now. Soon, circumstances will begin to shift externally. But when they do, you will notice something important. You will not react the way you once did. You will move with clarity instead of emotion. You will choose with peace instead of pressure. That is how you will know this season did its work. Hold on to this moment. Let it settle fully. There is a reason this message is layered, and there is a reason it is unfolding slowly. What comes next will make more sense because of what is happening now. Stay with me. What is ahead will bring even deeper reassurance, and you will be grateful you allowed yourself to listen all the way through. Chosen one, this layer of the message comes with tenderness and truth, because what is happening within you now cannot be rushed or forced. The quiet you are experiencing is not random. It is intentional. God often withdraws external stimulation when he wants to strengthen internal conviction. This is where many people become uncomfortable, because silence removes distraction and exposes what truly lives within the heart. You may feel moments where you question your own direction, not because you are lost, but because you are shedding identities that were built on survival rather than purpose. Old versions of you are dissolving gently. That can feel like uncertainty, but it is actually honesty. You are no longer pretending to be what you have outgrown. Archangel Michael stands near you now to reassure you of something vital. You are not being emptied, you are being cleared. There is a difference. Emptiness drains. Clearing prepares space. And God never clears space without intending to fill it with something greater. This season is teaching you how to sit with truth without needing to escape it. That is why emotions may feel closer to the surface. Not heavier, closer. You are becoming more aware, more sensitive, more real. That is not weakness. That is spiritual maturity. There are prayers you prayed long ago that are still alive. They were not ignored. They were delayed because the version of you who asked was not yet ready to steward the answer. That readiness is forming now. And when the answer arrives, it will not overwhelm you. It will fit you. You are also learning discernment in a deeper way. You are noticing what drains you faster, what feels forced, what no longer aligns with your peace. This is not you becoming distant or cold. This is you becoming selective. Heaven trusts you with greater clarity because you are finally willing to listen. Let me speak directly to the part of you that wonders if this quiet will last forever. It will not. Quiet seasons are temporary, but their impact is permanent. When movement returns, you will carry a new calm within you. Storms will not shake you the way they once did. Right now, you are being rooted so deeply that when growth accelerates, you remain grounded. There is also a strengthening of your spiritual authority happening silently. You may not feel powerful, but power does not always announce itself. Sometimes it settles. Sometimes it anchors. Sometimes it waits until it is needed. And when the moment comes, you will respond with wisdom instead of fear. Do not rush past this phase. Do not label it as boring or unproductive. Heaven is doing careful work here. Precision work. Work that requires your cooperation through patience. And if you have felt unseen lately, know this. You are being seen clearly by God. You are being trusted with refinement because refinement precedes responsibility. What is coming next in your life will require this level of inner stability. As this message reaches its depth, allow yourself to receive it fully. Let reassurance replace restlessness. Let trust replace urgency. Type "I receive divine calm" in the comments if this message is settling your spirit. Blessing code 909 has just been released. This is the moment where obedience meets opportunity. As this quiet reassurance flows into you, I hear the Spirit say, what you sow here becomes light for others still waiting in the dark. When you give, you are not supporting a channel. You are placing oil in a lamp that guides searching souls. Scripture comes alive now, declaring that those who sow generously will reap in due season, pressed down and overflowing. I feel led to tell you directly, your act of giving in this moment carries prophetic weight. This message is reaching hearts because God is opening rivers, and your seed keeps that river flowing. Do not delay what heaven is prompting. Respond now through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, with a link waiting for you in the description. I speak blessing over every giver, that peace, provision, and clarity multiply back to you. Obey this nudge now and release your seed with confidence. My dear one, now that reassurance has settled into your spirit, there is something deeper unfolding, something subtle yet powerful. This is the stage where awareness begins to mature into wisdom. You are not just sensing change anymore. You are learning how to move within it without resistance. But is a rare grace. There was a time when uncertainty would have made you restless. You would have tried to fix, control, or explain everything away. But notice how different you feel now. Even when questions remain unanswered, your heart is calmer. This is not resignation. This is trust being formed through experience. God is teaching you how to live without forcing outcomes, and that lesson alone will protect you from many future disappointments. You are beginning to understand that not every silence needs interpretation, and not every pause needs action. Some moments are meant to be honored simply by presence. This is why you are being drawn inward, not to isolate, but to listen more clearly. Archangel Michael stands watch as your discernment sharpens. You are becoming more aware of subtle signals, tone, energy, intention. Things that once slipped past you unnoticed now stand out. This is not suspicion, it is clarity. You are seeing more because you are ready to see more. There may be people in your life who do not understand this version of you. They may say you are quieter, different, harder to read. Let them think so. Not everyone is meant to access every layer of you. Privacy is not secrecy, it is stewardship. You are learning how to protect what is sacred within you. This season is also recalibrating how you respond to pressure. Instead of reacting emotionally, you are pausing. Instead of explaining yourself, you are observing. Instead of proving your worth, you are resting in it. These shifts may seem small, but they are foundational. God is building something in you that will not collapse under stress. There is also a quiet courage growing inside you. Not the loud kind that seeks validation, but the steady kind that allows you to say no without guilt and yes without fear. You are becoming comfortable with alignment, even when it requires separation from familiar patterns. This is how maturity manifests, not through dramatic change, but through consistent inner peace. You may feel moments of nostalgia for who you used to be, especially when life felt more predictable. But do not mistake predictability for purpose. Growth often removes the illusion of control so that trust can take its place. And trust is the foundation of every lasting blessing. Let me reassure you again. You are not late. You are not off track. You are not behind schedule. Heaven's timing is not rushed, and you are moving in step with it more than you realize. There are things being arranged for you that require this level of calm. There are conversations you will soon have that require this clarity. There are decisions approaching that will demand discernment rather than impulse. This season is equipping you for all of it. You may not see the full picture yet, but you are beginning to see enough to move forward when the moment arrives. Do not pressure yourself to feel excited all the time. Peace is a greater indicator of alignment than excitement ever will be. Joy will return in its time, but for now, peace is your anchor. As you continue listening, allow these words to sink beneath the the surface. You do not need to remember every sentence. Your spirit is already receiving what it needs. This message is not meant to rush you into change. It is meant to walk with you through it. And as this understanding settles, know that what comes next will not feel foreign. It will feel familiar, like something you have been quietly preparing for all along. Remain open. Remain grounded. You are being guided with care. Beloved one, as this message continues to unfold, a deeper layer of truth is being revealed, one that speaks directly to your inner stability. What you are experiencing now is the strengthening of your spiritual center. This is the phase where faith becomes quieter but stronger, where trust is no longer something you declare but something you live. There was a time when reassurance came from signs, confirmations, and external validation. And now reassurance is rising from within you. That is not coincidence. That is growth. God is teaching you how to stand firm even when there is no visible evidence to lean on. This is the kind of faith that sustains you when circumstances shift suddenly. You are beginning to understand that peace is not the absence of uncertainty, but the presence of confidence in God's guidance. And that confidence is being built right now, layer by layer, moment by moment. You may notice that your reactions have slowed. Situations that once triggered anxiety now invite reflection. This does not mean you no longer care. It means you are no longer controlled by urgency. You are responding from awareness instead of fear. Archangel Michael remains near, guarding this internal shift. When your inner world stabilizes, your outer world eventually follows. That is divine order. That is alignment. This season is also revealing truth about your capacity. You are realizing how much you can carry without breaking, how much wisdom you have gained through experience, and how resilient your spirit truly is. You are not fragile. You are refined. There may still be moments when doubt tries to return, especially during quiet evenings or unoccupied thoughts. When that happens, do not fight it aggressively. Simply observe it and let it pass. Doubt loses power when it is not fed attention. You are learning emotional mastery, and that is a gift few receive without hardship. Something important is happening in how you view time. You are no longer rushing toward the future or clinging to the past. You are becoming present, and presence is where clarity lives. When you are present, you hear God more clearly. When you are present, you notice what truly matters. This is why distractions are losing their appeal. This is why surface-level pursuits no longer satisfy you. Your spirit is craving depth, and heaven is responding. There is also a recalibration of trust taking place. You are learning who and what deserves access to your energy. You are no longer overgiving to those who cannot receive you properly. This is not selfishness. This is stewardship. God protects what is valuable, and you are valuable. You may find yourself saying less, listening more, and choosing words carefully. Silence is becoming a strength, not a burden. In that silence, your discernment is sharpening. You are hearing what is not being said. You are sensing intentions without explanation. This level of awareness is not meant to isolate you. It is meant to protect you. As this transformation continues, there will be a natural shift in how others relate to you. Some will feel inspired by your calm. Others may feel uncomfortable because your peace exposes their unrest. Let both responses be. You are not responsible for managing how others interpret your growth. Your responsibility is to remain aligned. There is also something being restored quietly, your confidence in divine timing. You are no longer anxious about when things will happen. You are trusting that when they do, you will be ready. That trust did not come easily. It was earned through patience. Remember this. Preparation often feels like waiting, but it is active in the spiritual realm. While you appear still, things are aligning behind the scenes. Soon, opportunities will arise that feel different from past ones. They will not demand desperation. They will invite readiness. You will recognize them by the peace they bring, not the pressure. Do not rush ahead mentally. Stay here. Stay grounded in what is unfolding now. This season is shaping you into someone who can move forward without losing balance. Someone who can receive without fear. Someone who can step into the next chapter without dragging the weight of the previous one. You are not being delayed. You are being prepared with intention. Let this reassurance anchor you. You are exactly where you need to be, and what is forming within you now will soon speak for itself. Beloved child, there is a quiet strengthening happening now that you may not fully recognize yet, but it is shaping how you will walk into what comes next. This is the stage where inner confidence begins to replace external reassurance. You are no longer asking for constant signs because something within you has settled. You are learning how to trust God even when the road ahead is not fully lit. The season is teaching you restraint, not because you lack ability, but because wisdom knows when to move and when to remain still. You are discovering that not every opportunity is an assignment, and not every open door is meant to be walked through. Discernment is becoming your companion. Archangel Michael stands firm beside you as your spiritual authority matures. Authority does not come from force, it comes from alignment. And you are aligning more deeply than ever before. You are beginning to sense when to speak and when silence carries more power. That awareness will protect you in moments where reaction would have cost you peace. You may notice that you are less affected by external opinions. Praise does not inflate you, and criticism no longer defines you. This emotional balance is not indifference, it is grounding. You are rooted now, and rooted things are not easily shaken. There is also a deeper honesty emerging within you. You are no longer pretending to be okay when something is not aligned. At the same time, you are no longer dramatizing discomfort. You are simply acknowledging truth and allowing it to guide you. This emotional clarity is rare, and it is valuable. God is also teaching you how to conserve your energy. You are learning that exhaustion is not a badge of honor. Rest is not weakness. Pausing does not mean quitting. This understanding is crucial for what lies ahead, because what you are being prepared for requires sustainability, not burnout. You are stepping out of survival mode and into intentional living. Some connections will naturally fade during this time, not because of conflict, but because of misalignment. You may feel a quiet sadness about this, but also relief. That is confirmation. When something leaves peacefully, it means its purpose has been fulfilled. You are also becoming more attuned to your inner voice. That gentle nudge, that subtle discomfort, that quiet sense of direction. It is becoming clearer. The more you honor it, the stronger it grows. This is how guidance becomes natural rather than forced. Do not underestimate how far you have come. There were moments in the past when you would have panicked in uncertainty. Now you pause. You reflect. You pray. That shift alone is evidence of transformation. As this message flows, this is a good moment to engage intentionally. If these words resonate, like this video and let that action anchor the message in your awareness. Share it with someone who may also be walking through a quiet season and needs reassurance. Leave a comment as a declaration that you are present and receptive. And if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe now so you remain connected as these messages continue to unfold. Your support keeps this space alive and aligned. There is more being revealed gradually, and staying connected matters. God is not rushing you because He is not anxious about your future. He sees the full picture. You are learning to trust what you cannot yet see because you are learning who is guiding you. There will come a moment when movement resumes more visibly. When that happens, you will not feel overwhelmed. You will feel ready. That readiness is being built now, quietly, patiently, intentionally. Let yourself remain here for a little longer. This is not the time to skim or rush. What is coming next will connect threads you may not even realize are forming yet. Stay with this message, because what unfolds after this will bring clarity you did not know you needed. Beloved one, now the message moves into a deeper place of understanding, because what you are carrying within you is beginning to stabilize. This is the phase where growth no longer feels intense, but integrated. You are not processing change anymore. You are living from it. And that distinction matters more than you realize. You may notice that your inner dialogue has softened. The constant questioning, the self-correction, the mental noise that once followed every decision has begun to quiet down. This does not mean you have all the answers. It means you trust yourself to receive them when the time is right. That trust did not appear overnight. It was formed through endurance, through patience, through choosing faith repeatedly when clarity was incomplete. This is how spiritual confidence is built. Archangel Michael remains close as you move through this integration. You are not being pushed forward. You are being established. There is a difference. Being put creates pressure. Being established creates peace. God is anchoring you now so that when momentum increases, you are not pulled off balance. You are also learning how to carry responsibility without anxiety. In the past, responsibility may have felt heavy, like a burden that demanded perfection. Now, it feels more like stewardship. You understand that you are not required to control outcomes, only to remain aligned in your choices. This shift will protect your joy. There is a new steadiness in how you approach uncertainty. You are no longer interpreting unknowns as threats. You are beginning to see them as invitations to trust. This does not make you passive. It makes you discerning. You are no longer reacting to what might go wrong. You are preparing for what might go right. That mindset change is powerful. You may also notice that your tolerance for chaos has decreased. Environments that thrive on drama, confusion, or emotional volatility no longer feel neutral to you. They feel draining. This is not judgment. It is awareness. Your nervous system is recalibrating to peace, and anything that disrupts that peace becomes noticeable. Honor that awareness. It is protecting you. This season is also teaching you something important about identity. You are no longer defining yourself by what you are waiting for. You are defining yourself by who you are becoming. That internal shift removes desperation. It allows you to live fully now, rather than postponing fulfillment until something external changes. You are realizing that becoming grounded is not about having everything figured out. It is about being stable enough to face whatever comes next. There may still be moments when old habits try to resurface: overthinking, self-doubt, impatience. When they do, notice how quickly you recognize them now. That recognition itself is growth. You do not spiral the way you once did. You return to center faster. That is evidence of maturity. God is also restoring your relationship with time. You are no longer fighting it or fearing it. You are learning how to move with it. You are trusting that delays are not denials, and that pauses often protect you from misalignment. There is a quiet confidence forming in your decisions. You may not announce them. You may not explain them to everyone, but you feel settled in them. That is how you know they are aligned. Archangel Michael reminds you that not everything meant for you will arrive loudly. Some of the most important shifts happen so gently that you only recognize them in hindsight. One day you will look back and realize this was the season where you became unshakable. You are not becoming harder. You are becoming clear. As this message continues, allow yourself to stay open. You do not need to take notes. You do not need to memorize. Your spirit is already absorbing what it needs. What is coming next will bring a deeper sense of purpose, not through urgency, but through clarity. Remain present. Remain grounded. You are being prepared not just to move forward, but to remain whole while doing so. Beloved soul, this part of the message arrives with gentle authority because something meaningful has now shifted inside you. You are no longer standing at the edge of change. You are standing within it. The quiet season has done its work, and now its effects are becoming visible in how you think, feel, and respond. Even if nothing dramatic has happened outwardly, inwardly you are not the same person you were before. You are beginning to carry peace without effort. It is no longer something you chase or try to protect constantly. It has settled into you. This is important because peace is not just a feeling, it is a signal. It tells you that alignment has taken root. Archangel Michael stands close, affirming this truth. You are now operating from a stronger spiritual foundation. You are not easily pulled into confusion. You are not easily shaken by uncertainty. You may still have questions, but they no longer destabilize you. They simply exist, waiting for the right moment to be answered. This is the fruit of patience. You may notice that your intuition is clearer now. Decisions feel simpler, not because life has fewer options, but because your inner compass is stronger. You are sensing what to engage with and what to release without overanalyzing. This is discernment flowing naturally, not forced. There is also a quiet authority forming in how you carry yourself. Not dominance, not control. Authority rooted in self-awareness and trust in God. You no longer need to prove your worth or explain your choices. You move with a sense of inner permission. That is spiritual maturity. Some people may notice this shift before you fully do. They may say you seem calmer, more grounded, less reactive. Others may feel uncomfortable around you without knowing why. Your peace reflects what they are avoiding. Let this be. Your role is not to shrink your growth to keep others comfortable. God did not bring you through this season to return you to old patterns. You are also learning how to wait without suffering. Waiting no longer feels like punishment. It feels purposeful. You trust that when movement happens, it will be meaningful and sustainable. That trust frees you from anxiety about timing. There is a deeper connection forming between your spirit and God's voice. You are learning how He speaks to you personally, through stillness, through inner knowing, through subtle confirmations. This relationship is becoming less transactional and more relational. You are no longer asking only for outcomes, you are listening for guidance. That shift changes everything. You may still feel moments of vulnerability. Growth does not eliminate sensitivity. But now, vulnerability no longer feels dangerous. It feels honest. You are allowing yourself to be human without losing your spiritual grounding. This is balance. As this message reaches this point, it is important to acknowledge what you have allowed God to do in you. You did not rush. You did not resist. You stayed present. And because of that, something has been activated. Type "I stand in quiet strength" in the comments if you feel this message settling deeply within you. Blessing code 1441 has just been released. As this season of quiet change gives birth to strength within you, Hear this invitation clearly. The Spirit is saying, as you have received peace, now become a channel of it for others. When you give here, you are sowing light into places where reassurance has not yet reached. The Word declares that those who water others will themselves be watered, and this moment is alive with that promise. I speak directly to you now. Your obedience through giving carries purpose beyond what you can see. This mission moves forward because seeds are planted in faith, not pressure. Release your seed now through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, with a link placed for you in the description. I bless every giver with multiplied peace, divine covering, and clarity for the road ahead. Act now, and let your giving speak in the Spirit. Beloved one, as this message continues, you are entering a phase where awareness begins to translate into quiet confidence. This is not the loud confidence that seeks recognition or reassurance. This is the settled knowing that you are being guided, even when the path ahead is not fully revealed. You are no longer unsettled by what you do not yet understand, because your trust has shifted from outcomes to alignment. You may notice that your emotional landscape feels more even now. Highs are calmer. Lows are less consuming. This does not mean life has lost its color. It means you are no longer swinging between extremes. Balance is forming within you, and balance is a sign of strength. Archangel Michael continues to stand watch as you integrate this new steadiness. What you are becoming requires protection, because stability attracts responsibility. God does not place weight on foundations that cannot carry it. This season has been about reinforcing your inner structure so that what comes next does not overwhelm you. You are also learning how to release the need to explain your journey. There was a time when you felt compelled to justify your pace, your choices, or your pauses. Now, you are comfortable letting your life speak for itself. This quiet confidence will save you energy and preserve your peace. There is also a deeper honesty in how you relate to yourself. You are no longer ignoring discomfort or rushing past it. When something feels misaligned, you acknowledge it. When something feels right, you allow yourself to trust it. This self-trust is not arrogance. It is discernment refined through experience. You may still encounter moments of uncertainty, but notice how you respond differently now. Instead of panicking, you pause. Instead of assuming the worst, you wait. That pause is powerful. It creates space for wisdom to rise. God is also refining your sense of purpose. Purpose is no longer something you are chasing in the distance. It is something you are living in small, consistent ways. You are realizing that purpose is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is found in restraint, in presence, in choosing peace over reaction. This realization changes how you view success. You are no longer measuring progress by speed or visibility. You are measuring it by alignment and integrity. This shift protects you from burnout and disappointment. There may be people who drift further from you during this time, not because you have changed for the worse, but because your growth no longer mirrors their patterns. This can feel bittersweet. Allow yourself to grieve what is ending without questioning what is beginning. Some connections are seasonal, and their ending makes room for what is next. You are also becoming more selective with your attention. You are noticing how certain information, conversations, or environments affect your peace. You are choosing to disengage without guilt. This is not avoidance. This is wisdom. Archangel Michael reminds you that peace is not something you defend aggressively. It is something you maintain intentionally. You are learning how to guard it without building walls. You are open, but not exposed. That balance will serve you well. There is a new patience forming in how you wait for answers. You are no longer demanding immediate clarity. You trust that when information is needed, it will arrive. This trust allows God to reveal things at the right pace, not before you are ready. You may feel a quiet anticipation building, not anxious, not urgent, but aware. Something is aligning. You do not need to name it yet. You simply need to remain receptive. This season has taught you how to be present without pressure. That lesson will stay with you long after circumstances change. You are carrying a calm that cannot be taught quickly or artificially. It was earned. As this message deepens, stay with it. What is unfolding next will connect everything you have sensed but not yet articulated. Remain open. Remain grounded. You are moving closer to clarity, and you will recognize it not by noise, but by peace. Beloved child, this phase of the message meets you at a point where your inner world has grown steady enough to hold greater responsibility. You may not yet see dramatic changes around you, but within you, something has settled into place. You are no longer preparing for stability. You are living from it. And that changes how heaven entrusts you with what comes next. You are beginning to notice that challenges do not provoke the same reactions they once did. Situations that would have unsettled you now invite contemplation instead of fear. This does not mean life has become easier. It means you have become stronger. Strength, in this sense, is not force. It is composure. It is the ability to remain anchored even when answers are incomplete. Archangel Michael remains near as this composure deepens. There is protection around your thoughts now. You are less vulnerable to unnecessary worry, less susceptible to emotional turbulence. This is not emotional numbness. This is clarity. You are learning how to feel without being overwhelmed. God is also refining your obedience. Obedience no longer feels like pressure to act quickly. It feels like a willingness to listen fully. You are discovering that delayed action can be just as faithful as immediate action when it is guided by discernment. This level of trust is rare, and it is precious. You may find that you are more comfortable with unanswered questions now. Where uncertainty once caused anxiety, it now creates space. Space for insight. Space for patience. Space for God to move without interference. This is not passivity. This is alignment. There is also a shift happening in how you view your own voice. You are no longer speaking to be heard. You are speaking when it matters. Your words carry more weight because they are fewer. Silence has become a tool, not a void. In that silence, wisdom grows. The season is teaching you how to wait without disconnecting. You are present. You are aware. You are engaged. But you are not forcing outcomes. This balance is preparing you for moments when action will be required decisively. You will know when those moments arrive because they will come with peace, not panic. There is a temptation in seasons like this to assume that because things are calm, nothing significant is happening. But calm is often the sign that alignment has been achieved. Storms do not rage where balance has been established. You are also becoming more intentional with what you allow into your mind and spirit. You are discerning about what you listen to, what you watch, and what you entertain emotionally. This is not restriction. This is stewardship. You are protecting the clarity you have worked hard to cultivate. As this message continues, take a moment to anchor yourself here. If this reassurance resonates, let it be reflected outwardly. Like this video so this space continues to be guided by alignment. Share it with someone who may need reassurance in their own quiet season. Leave a comment as a declaration that you are present and listening. And if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe now so you remain connected as this message unfolds further. Your engagement helps sustain this flow. There is more depth ahead, and staying connected matters. God is not distant from you in this season. He is close, intentional, and attentive. He is shaping how you respond to life so that when greater movement begins, you are not destabilized by it. You will move with wisdom, not haste. You may sense that something is approaching, not dramatically, but definitively. A moment where understanding crystallizes. A moment where direction becomes clearer. That moment is not far, but it is precise. It will arrive when you are fully ready to receive it without fear. Until then, remain grounded. Do not rush ahead mentally. Stay present with what is being formed now. This is where strength is finalized. Hold on, because what unfolds next will connect everything you have been sensing quietly. This is where the deeper meaning begins to surface, and you will want to be here for it. Beloved one, this portion of the message meets you at a threshold, not a dramatic crossing, but a conscious one. You are becoming aware that the quiet season you walked through has reshaped how you perceive direction itself. You are no longer waiting for life to suddenly make sense. You are learning how to move forward even when understanding unfolds gradually. That is not confusion. That is wisdom. There is a deeper trust settling into you now. Not the kind that demands reassurance, but the kind that rests. You are trusting God's character, not just His outcomes. The distinction changes how you experience uncertainty. Instead of feeling exposed, you feel held. Archangel Michael stands near as this trust stabilizes. You are entering a phase where your discernment is no longer reactive. You are not constantly scanning for threats or opportunities. You are simply attentive. And attentiveness allows you to recognize what is meant for you without striving. You may notice that your relationship with effort is changing. You are no longer forcing productivity to feel valuable. You understand that fruitfulness does not come from pressure, but from alignment. This shift will protect you from exhaustion in future seasons of increase. There is also a subtle courage growing within you. Courage that does not announce itself. Courage that shows up as consistency, as integrity, as the willingness to remain grounded when others rush. You are learning that courage is often quiet. You are also releasing the need for immediate validation. There was a time when reassurance from others felt necessary to confirm your direction. And now, you are comfortable standing in your decisions without applause. This does not mean you reject support. It means you are no longer dependent on it. That independence is healthy. It signals maturity. God is also restoring your sensitivity without restoring your fragility. You are open but not easily wounded. You care but you are not consumed. You feel deeply but you recover quickly. This balance is not accidental. It was shaped through patience and surrender. There may be moments when you look back and realize how much has changed internally, even though your environment looks similar. That realization can feel strange. But understand this: inner change always precedes outward change. What shifts inside you determines what you can sustain outside of you. You are now able to recognize peace not as an escape, but as a foundation. You are building from it, not retreating into it. This is why your decisions feel calmer, your reactions slower, your responses wiser. You are also learning how to hold space for uncertainty without filling it with fear. That skill will serve you well. Many people rush into decisions simply to escape the discomfort of not knowing. You are learning how to remain present until clarity arrives naturally. That patience will protect you from missteps. There is a sense of readiness forming, not urgency, not anticipation, but readiness. You feel capable of responding when the time comes. You trust that you will recognize the moment because it will resonate with peace, not pressure. Archangel Michael reminds you that readiness is not about knowing every detail. It is about being stable enough to handle whatever unfolds. And you are becoming stable. You may still encounter voices, internal or external, that question your pace or your process. Let them pass. You are not required to justify a season that God designed specifically for you. What matters is alignment, not explanation. As this message nears its completion, allow yourself to acknowledge how far you have come, not just in visible achievements, but in emotional maturity, spiritual clarity, and inner steadiness. These are not small things. They are foundational. You are no longer becoming ready. You are readying yourself to receive. What comes next will not feel foreign. It will feel earned. It will feel fitting. And most importantly, it will feel peaceful. Remain open. Remain grounded. The final layer of this message will seal what has been forming quietly within you, and it will bring everything into gentle focus. Beloved child, this final layer of the message arrives not as an ending, but as a sealing. What has been forming quietly within you is now complete enough to be entrusted with movement. Not rushed movement, not forced action, but intentional steps guided by clarity. You are no longer standing in transition. You are standing in readiness. There is a deep knowing settling into you now. A knowing that does not need constant confirmation. A knowing that does not panic when things unfold slowly. You understand now that God's timing was never about delay, but about development. You were not being held back. You were being built up. Archangel Michael stands with authority beside you, as this truth anchors itself within your spirit. You are protected not just from harm, but from misalignment. The discernment you carry now will guide you away from paths that once would have distracted you. You will recognize what is not meant for you quickly and release it without regret. This season has changed how you interpret silence. Silence no longer feels like absence. It feels like presence without noise. You have learned how to hear God without urgency, how to trust without explanation, how to remain steady when outcomes are still forming. These lessons are permanent. You are no longer asking, when will things change? You are asking, how do I remain aligned as they do? That shift is everything. You are stepping into a chapter where your peace becomes your compass. Decisions will be guided by clarity, not pressure. Opportunities will come with confirmation, not confusion. You will no longer chase what drains you. You will attract what matches you. There may still be unknowns ahead, but they no longer intimidate you. You trust yourself to respond wisely when the time comes. You trust God to reveal what you need when you need it. That mutual trust is the foundation of spiritual maturity. You are also releasing the final remnants of self-doubt. Not because you believe you are perfect, but because you no longer believe fear deserves authority over your choices. You have seen what patience produces. You have felt what alignment brings. You are not the same person who entered this quiet season, and you will not return to who you were before. There is a calm confidence in you now, a grounded presence, a sense of inner permission to move forward without apologizing for your pace or your peace. This is not pride. This is clarity. As this message completes its journey, allow yourself to receive it fully. Let it settle. Let it affirm what you already feel but may not have put into words. This was not just reassurance. This was preparation. Type "I walk in divine alignment" in the comments if this message confirms what has been forming within you. Blessing code 2121 has now been activated. As this message seals a season of quiet change, hear this final call with clarity and authority. The Spirit says, what has been formed in you must now flow through you. When you give here, you are not funding content. You are releasing light into homes, hearts, and lives that are still waiting for reassurance. The word speaks now, declaring that those who sow in peace will reap in abundance, and your seed carries that promise. I speak to you directly. This is not coincidence. This is invitation. Your obedience in this moment becomes a prophetic act that keeps this river of God's word moving across the earth. Release your seed now through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, with a link placed in the description. I bless every giver with divine alignment, multiplied provision, and unwavering peace. Act now, and let your giving echo in eternity.